director Nick Fury is staring down a catastrophic threat, and his only hope is a truly desperate gamble. It's an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people, just to see if they could become something more. The Earth is hopelessly, almost hilariously outgunned, and conventional military responses simply aren't going to cut it anymore. We are thrust immediately into a situation where a mysterious energy source of unparalleled power has just turned itself on, setting the stage for a conflict that will literally decide the fate of the human race.
Okay, let's dive into this. The crisis really ignites when the Tesseract, which is this ancient and unimaginably powerful cube, awakens at a remote shield facility. Now, it's not just emitting energy, it's acting as a doorway across space. Out steps Loki of Asgard, declaring that he comes with glad tidings of a world made free. And what does he mean by free? Well, he means subjugated, stating bluntly that humans will burn unless they kneel to his rule.
The immediate aftermath is just pure chaos. Loki doesn't just steal the Tesseract. He uses a glowing scepter to instantly brainwash key personnel, including the highly skilled operative Agent Clint Barton, also known as Hawkeye. With his entire facility collapsing and the Tesseract in hostile hands, Director Fury has absolutely no choice. He sounds a general call, declaring a Level 7 emergency. As of that exact moment, Earth is at war.
And within hours, the team assembly is in full swing. Agent Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, is pulled right out of a deep cover interrogation to track down Dr. Bruce Banner in Calcutta, specifically because no one knows gamma radiation quite like he does. Meanwhile, Agent Phil Coulson intercepts the volatile Tony Stark at Stark Tower, handing him the homework he needs to catch up. Concurrently, Captain Steve Rogers, the world's first superhero, who was recently thawed from 70 years in the ice, is recruited and briefed that the world has gotten even stranger than he already knows.
While the team is scrambling to assemble, Loki makes his first public move in Stuttgart, Germany. In a chilling demand, he attempts to forcefully subjugate the masses, telling them to kneel and accept that freedom is life's great lie. He claims that once they accept that in their hearts, they will know peace, but he's quickly confronted. Captain America arrives, declaring that the last time he was in Germany, he disagreed with a man standing above everybody else. Iron Man quickly joins the fray, and surprisingly, Loki surrenders without much of a fight.
But the transport jet taking him back to SIA-ELD's airborne base, the helicarrier, is violently interrupted. Thor, Loki's brother, drops literally out of the sky to rip Loki from the jet, fully intending to face him with Asgardian justice. This immediately leads to a massive physical clash in the woods between Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, a true battle of titans who basically come from legend. Only after Cap steps in do they agree to lay down their arms and bring Loki onto the helicarrier together. And this brilliantly illustrates the core dynamic at play here. On one hand, the newly assembled heroes are a volatile chemical mixture that just makes chaos. They spend their time arguing, discovering that S.H.I.E.L.D. is secretly using the Tesseract to build weapons of mass destruction, and aggressively confronting each other's egos. Meanwhile, Loki sits patiently in his reinforced glass cage, completely unified in his dark purpose, just watching the heroes tear themselves apart exactly as he planned. Which brings us to a terrifying realization. This was all part of Loki's devious multi-step strategy. Step 1, get captured in Germany. Step 2, sit in the cage and use his agents to manipulate the heroes into fighting one another. And Step 3, unleash the Hulk. The culmination of this plan hits hard when the brainwashed Agent Barton leads an armed assault on the helicarrier, taking out one of the massive external turbines. The resulting explosion completely shatters the team's fragile dynamic and pushes Banner right over the edge. The helicarrier rapidly descends into absolute frantic action. The Hulk violently rampages through the lower decks, eventually battling Thor. Meanwhile, Stark and Rogers are forced to put aside their differences. They literally have to jump into the massive spinning rotors to restart the failing engines. Because if they fail, the entire fortress falls out of the sky. It is pure, desperate survival mode for everyone on board. In all the chaos, Loki manages to escape, but not before fatally wounding Agent Phil Coulson. Fury takes Coulson's vintage Captain America trading cards, which, by the way, were actually in Coulson's locker, not his jacket, and smears them with blood. He tosses them on the table right in front of Stark and Rogers. Fury knows exactly what he's doing here. As he puts it, they needed the push. Coulson's tragic death becomes the ultimate catalyst, forcing these disparate, grieving individuals to finally rally around a common cause. Driven by this newly found unity, Tony Stark connects the dots. He realizes Loki isn't just looking to win, he wants an audience. Stark pegs him as a full-tilt diva who wants flowers, parades, and a massive monument built to the skies with his name plastered all over it. And where is the biggest, newest, self-sustaining monument in the sky? Stark Tower in New York City. The team immediately gears up, boards a jet, and heads straight for Manhattan. The energy shifts completely as Loki's portal rips open the sky over Manhattan, unleashing a massive horde of alien Chitauri warriors. The Avengers arrive, but they are very quickly overwhelmed until Dr. Banner casually rides up on a motorbike. When Captain America suggests now might be a really good time for him to get angry, Banner delivers his true secret to controlling the beast. "That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry." He voluntarily transforms into the Hulk and totally obliterates a massive armored Leviathan in a single punch, firmly cementing the team's formation. Now we see them finally functioning as a seamless, well-oiled machine. Captain America immediately takes charge, rapidly firing off tactical battle orders. Barton, on the roof to call out patterns. Thor, using his lightning to bottleneck the portal. Stark, maintaining the perimeter to turn any strays to ash. And for the Hulk, smash. The Battle of New York is in full swing, and for the very first time, they are truly the Avengers. But wait, the threat isn't just coming from the aliens. High above S.H.I.E.L.D., the shadowy council decides the Avengers simply cannot hold the city. Ignoring Director Fury's fierce objections, the council completely overrides his command and authorizes a rogue jet to launch a nuclear missile directly at the civilian population of Manhattan. It's a desperate, horrifying bid to eradicate the invasion once and for all. With a nuke literally minutes away from wiping out Midtown, Tony Stark makes a split-second, heroic decision. Despite previously being called out by Rogers for never being the guy to make the sacrifice play, Iron Man intercepts the nuclear missile. He alters its trajectory and carries it straight up into the alien portal on what is entirely understood to be a one-way trip, flying it directly into the vast depths of space to destroy the Chitauri mothership. This triggers a rapid, cascading end to the battle. First, the nuclear blast detonates against the mothership, instantly disabling all the Chitauri forces back on Earth. Second, up on the roof of Stark Tower, Black Widow uses Loki's own scepter to trigger a failsafe built by the mind-controlled Dr. Selvig. Third, she shuts down the Tesseract's energy barrier, and just as the portal begins to collapse, a lifeless Iron Man falls back through the rapidly shrinking opening, plummeting straight toward the Earth. As Stark falls, seemingly dead in the air, the Hulk leaps up and catches him, safely bringing him to the ground. After the Hulk lets out a massive roar that literally startles Stark back to consciousness, the exhausted but victorious team looks around at the devastation. Stark, ever the billionaire playboy, playfully suggests they all take a day off and go try a local shawarma joint before heading back to work. The battle is officially won. But as the dust settles, the world is left reeling, which prompts one massive question. Where are the Avengers now? News reports flood the airwaves, showing a really complex aftermath. While some civilians express deep gratitude for the heroes who saved their lives, politicians and pundits voice intense fear. They demand to know who these dangerous individuals are, how they'll be held responsible for the destruction, and most pressingly, where they have disappeared to. The immediate answer? The team scatters to the winds. The Tesseract, deemed way too dangerous to remain in human hands, is taken by Thor. Using its immense power, Thor returns home to Asgard, taking a muzzle-bound and captive Loki with him to face true justice. The rest of the heroes go their separate ways, returning to the shadows and their independent lives. When asked by his deputy how this works now that these incredibly dangerous beings are loose in the world and scattered extremely far apart, Fury doesn't flinch. He knows this unruly group of remarkable people is a statement and a promise. If humanity is threatened again, if a force courts death by challenging the Earth, will this volatile chemical mixture of heroes truly put aside their differences and return? Fury promises they will, because we'll need them to. And doesn't that make you wonder what unimaginable threat will force them out of the shadows next?